Hello. So today I have another one-off beautiful book that I want to read you, and we've been reading the Hello Kitty series because I'm absolutely in love with it, kind of. So the one that I found at the library that I don't have and I can't get hold of anywhere else is the Hello Kitty is Cinderella book. So I'm gonna read you a little bedtime story, but let's just admire all of the pictures. So I'm gonna read the back. Hello Kitty is Cinderella in this beautiful retelling of the classic fairy story. When she fails to receive an invitation to the grand royal party, Cinderella is very sad. With the help of her fairy godmother, will she make it to the ball and win the hand of the dashing prince, which is dear Daniel? So, obviously there's receipts and stuff from the library. So we have the inner page. Don't worry, I'll show everyone all of the pictures. Okay, so I think we're going to have to do it page by page. So we have Hello Kitty is Cinderella. Dear Daniel is Prince Charming. Minnie is the fairy godmother. Jody is the father. Tippy is Max. Fifi is Matilda. Tracy is the coachman, and Timmy is the footman. And unfortunately, someone's ripped it when they've borrowed it. But that's fine. We can still work with it. Loki and her friends are very excited. They are acting in the school play. The costumes are ready. The cast have learned their lines and the audience is starting to arrive. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, make your seats for Cinderella. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Foreverland, there lived a beautiful young girl called Cinderella. She lived in a small cottage with her father, her stepbrother Max, and her stepsister Matilda. Cinderella was very hard-working and did lots of the family chores. She cooked and cleaned, tidied and washed, all without complaining. Max and Matilda were kind and hard and fun, but they could sometimes be a little naughty. They loved to play tricks on Cinderella. One day there was a royal announcement. Ta-da-da-da-da. The king was to hold a grand party at the royal palace for his son, Prince Charming. Invitations arrived at the cottage for Max and Matilda, but there seemed there was nothing for Cinderella. She was very sad. Every day Cinderella waited for the post, but after a week passed and no invitation arrived, she wouldn't be going to the ball. Cinderella didn't know that naughty Max and Matilda had hidden her invitation. They had meant to give it to her, but eventually they had forgotten about it. The night of the ball arrived. Max and Matilda spent a long time getting ready. Max put on his best suit and a bright red bow tie. Max and Matilda went off to the ball. They wondered if they had forgotten something, but really couldn't remember what it was. Cinderella was left at home, feeling sad. She decided to bake some chocolate cookies for everyone to eat when they returned. Cinderella was just taking her chocolate cookies out of the oven when, flash, a fairy-like creature flew into the kitchen. Who are you? asked Cinderella. I'm your fairy godmother. With my help, Cinder, you shall go to the ball. But how? I have no time to get ready and no transport to take me there. The fairy godmother asked Cinderella to fetch a pumpkin from the garden, Max's 4 pet white mice, and Matilda's favourite teddy bear. How puzzling. Maximus magic. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand over the pumpkin, mice, and teddy bear. Before Cinderella's eyes, they were transformed into a glittering caravan with 4 white horses and a dashing coachman. But I can't go to the ball dressed like this, said Cinderella, looking at her flower-covered clothes. Maximus magic. With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother transferred Cinderella's outfit. Suddenly, she was wearing the most beautiful ball gown. Cinderella looked down and saw duplicate pink glass slippers on her feet. Ensure you are home by midnight, said the fairy godmother. Any later and the spell will be broken. When Cinderella arrived at the ball, she was the most beautiful girl in the palace. She was dressed so finely that even Max and Matilda didn't recognize her. When Prince Charming saw Cinderella, it was love at first sight. He asked her to dance, and they waltzed and quickened and jived all evening. Suddenly, the clock began to strike midnight. It was midnight. I must leave, Cinderella told the prince. Wait, please just tell me your name, said Prince Charming. But it was too late. Cinderella was gone. As she ran from the palace, she lost one of her beautiful glass slippers. The prince picked up the slipper and carried it inside. The next morning, Prince Charming was feeling very sad. He had fallen in love with a beautiful girl but had no clue who she was. Then he looked at the dainty glass slipper and had an idea. I shall find the girl who owns the slipper, he called his footman. Footman? And they rushed from the palace to begin the search. After many hours calling at every house in the land, the prince had still not found the mystery girl. He was about to give up when he saw one last cottage. Bing bong went the doorbell. Cinderella's father answered the door. Whoever this shoes fit, I shall marry, said the prince. Matilda rushed forward and tried on the slipper, but it was much too small for her. Even Max tried on the shoe, but his foot was much too big. The prince then noticed Cinderella busy doing chores. She stepped forward and tried on the slipper. It was a perfect fit. Cinderella would marry the prince. Ding dong, went the church bells. Cinderella looked wonderful dressed in her wedding gown. Standing by her side was Prince Charming, her new husband. We're sorry we hid your invitations to the ball, said Matilda and Max. Please don't worry, said Cinderella as she smiled for the photographer. Flash. Princess Cinderella enjoyed life at the palace from time to time. She still baked her favourite cookies. They became Prince Charming's favourite too. The prince and princess lived happily ever after. The end. Hooray, hooray. Cheers were ringing around the hall as the audience clapped and shouts for more. The play is a great success. The friends take a bow and Hello Kitty receives a beautiful bouquet of flowers. Hello Kitty looks at dear Daniel across the stage. Maybe one day she thinks I will marry my prince. And then there's a happily ever after picture of